I'm so OCD. Yeah, I know what you're all thinking. You must be pretty neat and organized, right? Well, you're not wrong. Yes, I like to be clean and organized, and yes, that picture skewed on the wall over there is my own personal manifestation of Satan. However, what you don't know is that I'm clean because that's how my parents raised me. And I'm organized is because I'm a full-time 4.0 student, a research assistant, a resident assistant, and a volunteer, so I can't afford the time to be unorganized. And as for that skewed picture on the wall, who the hell would that bother the shit out of? Honestly. I am so OCD. We've all heard that phrase. And I've seen the titles on Facebook. My personal favorites, 24 pictures that make your OCD senses tingle. It makes having OCD seem like I'm fucking Spider-Man or something. I can see it now. Is your bathroom too dirty? Do you have that pesky son that never puts your DVDs back in the right case? Never fear! OCD man's senses are tingling. No more will you be in the dastardly clutches of an improperly loaded dishwasher. And I've seen the quizzes too, the ones that ask, how uncomfortable does this make you? All with pictures that look like someone literally Googled things that aren't aligned correctly and are dirty. As if 3 million Americans daily are suffering from a plague of being neat, clean, and orderly. I'm so OCD, that phrase tossed around like some admired personality traits when it really is a mental illness. I'm so OCD! There's so much more meaning behind that phrase than people understand. I'm so obsessive-compulsive disorder. I want to help you understand. If you knew OCD, you would understand the worry. The constant worry, that voice brings to your head that you try to shove out, but it only pushes back tenfold, knocking you in the stomach and knocking the air out of your lungs. And there are days when you're weak, and the punch knocks you to the ground, where the thought of germs, cancer spreading to your brain, or your friends leaving you, weighs you down and prevents you from getting up at all. If you knew OCD, you would understand how feeling as though you're behaving unacceptably in front of your coworkers, your bosses, or most importantly, your friends, whittles away at your confidence to just be yourself. You're trapped from reaching out to new friends because anything you say or do will only lead to embarrassment. At least that's what that voice tells you. It says it's absolutely certain that they don't like you. So why bother and try? And that fear just won't go away. No. You try to slam the gate shut on that voice, that fear, but that giant bulldozer on the other stands more menacing than you. And you cry out in terror and realize you're going to get crushed. And even throughout this fear, you wear a mask so tight over your face that it is invisible to everyone. And you keep it on because everyone else has a rocket launcher for protection, and you only have a measly little sword. You're afraid to be judged because it's the 21st century, and who uses swords anymore? What people don't understand is that was the only thing given to you for defense. You scream as the bulldozer comes towards you, but with that mask on, no one sees the bulldozer and no one hears you, and a single tear falls from your face. And you know what's happening next because it's happened 100 times before. If you knew OCD, you would understand how it felt as a small child. You feel like you're the cause of embarrassment and frustration in your family so many times when you're supposed to be something that brings joy. And you weren't even beginning to understand what was happening to you. Your mother would yell at you or threaten to punish you anytime she saw your compulsions. Anytime you were in panic, the yelling kept coming, and not just from your parents, from that voice, too. Your OCD was a force holding a gun to your head every day saying that you were going to die if you didn't do what you perceived as stupid tasks. And even though, rationally, you knew the tasks meant nothing. If you didn't do them, the gun would cock and you would cry out in terror. And your parents, they didn't know this. How could you tell them you were only 7? How could you explain the force that was holding you hostage every day as much as you wanted to tell them what was happening to you? You were 7 and you knew that guns could kill. But today you understand. You understand that your mother didn't understand OCD either. She just wanted so much for you to get better. She didn't know there was a voice inside your head screaming 10 times louder than her every single time. I look back at my younger self, the one that doesn't understand that he's worth so much more than he thinks he is. The one that doesn't understand that there's a chemical imbalance in his head that's doing all this pain, and it's not his fault. And I just know how proud he is of me right now. OCD has taught me that I am more than a mental illness. I've learned to live by my own definition of myself. I am not that weird OCD kid. No. I'm a person who I hope is determined, ambitious, kind, adventurous, creative, loving, and free from the bonds of an illness that once chained him down. Because nobody out there is perfect. For all of you in pain out there right now, remember that being vulnerable makes you strong. It does not make you less of a man or weak. Inside every stoic champion bodybuilder, there is something that will make him cry. And behind your mental illness, you are a magnificent human being. Lastly, and most importantly, OCD has taught me that what truly takes the most courage is just taking off that mask and opening yourself up to the love that you deserve. Accepting the true value of love has saved me time and time again from that voice, because I finally found something that can always scream louder than it. Even though people may not understand what I'm thinking, they understand me. And I just know when that bulldozer threatens to run me over, there will be at least 5 people with artillery tanks ready to blow that thing to pieces. And when they annihilate fear, and when it disappears, there's nothing standing in my way on the horizon anymore. I'm free. And they show me the path to love myself for who I am. And through years of hopelessness, I finally found happiness. And my mental illness became my miracle. Now you know the true meaning of that phrase. I'm so OCD. I'm damn proud of it.